UA6ED. Let's see if there's any emergency or priority traffic before we start the SOARA Saturday TechNet. Okay, this is WA6ED and the SOARA Saturday TechNet. It's open to all licensed amateurs, and whether you're a SOARA member or not, depending on access to whatever repeater we're on as well. I think all three repeaters are linked, but maybe not. Simple doesn't look like it. Okay, anyway, let's see if there's anybody out there that wants to join the net. Give me your call sign phonetically, please, with your name, and let me know if you have a question or not. Okay, please call now.
W6EDT, I'm going to try to link simple.
Okay, thanks, Dale. Anybody else like to join the net? Please call now.
Good morning, W6CAG, and happy Pi Day is.
Whiskey 6 Delta Sierra, but I'll just be monitoring today, Ed, and I don't have any questions. W6DS.
E6H. I have to apologize. I probably didn't give Dale enough time to do the linking and stuff, and I should have paused. So, W6EDT, is everything okay, or should I shut up? Okay, well, I assume everything is okay until told otherwise. So we have Claude. Dale is out there somewhere, W6EDT. We have Claude, W6CHG, and then David, W6DS, just monitoring, so I won't pester you, David. And then Ray, AE6H. Anybody else like to join the net? Please call now. Okay, well, we have 5 of us. Does anybody have a question before I start a hello round?
W6EDT with an announcement.
Okay, go ahead, Dale.
Sorry, I was trying to talk back to you on the wrong frequency. So anyway, my announcement is that in April we're going to have an election for officers of SOARA. And if anybody would like to join the board, we had a bylaws amendment passed that essentially expanded the board. So if you're interested in filling a seat on the board, please contact me or any other board member. And with that, and I also have a question. Let me just get back to that.
Okay, well, thanks for the announcement, Dale, and go ahead and ask your question, WA6ED.
So I've been looking at building antennas again, and I came across a design, actually, Bob from Palomar is the one I credit with this, although he may not have originated it. Essentially, it's an offsetter-fed dipole where part of the dipole is using the coax shield, and you use a 4-to-1 on a transformer at the feed point, and then choke the coax down, some distance away from that balun to choke off the RF energy on the shield. I'm curious why that would be preferred to using an offsetter, just a regular offsetter-fed dipole. It looks kind of like an inverted L in some configuration. So I'm just curious why people would want to do one thing versus the other. W6EDT.
Okay, well, thank you, Dale. Does anybody have a comment for Dale's antenna question? Please call now. Okay, well, I think you're going to have to go to the antenna book and start studying patterns on what the antenna will produce. I forgot the name of those patterns. There's a name for it. But I guess we're going to have to Google it or something. I don't know, Dale. I don't have any idea on why you do it one way versus the other. Back to W6EDT, WA6ED.
Yeah, I've sat in. I thank you very much for asking the question. I do need to do this simulation for sure. That would be one interesting strategy to try and figure it out. Try at different heights above ground and things like that. I guess it's slightly more compact, but I don't know. Anyway, thanks again, and appreciate you asking the question. W6EDT back to the net.
Okay, yeah, the patterns I think might be a big deal. The other thing, if you had both antennas, you could put a VNA on it and look at return loss and some different things like that under different conditions. That might give you some indicators on why somebody might do it one way or the other, especially return loss at the frequencies that you care about. Okay, are there any other questions? Please call now.
W6CAG.
Okay, Claude, go ahead. WA6ED.
All right, probably, well, I'm going to ask the question. First, a little background. With all the interest I hear listening to people get me more excited about learning CW and operating CW and that sort of thing. It's kind of awakened some long dormant interest in me that probably has been asleep for probably close to 50 years. But in any case, I am looking to get set up again for CW. I mean, I used to use a bug, and so I'm kind of getting back to do that again. I've got a Vibraplex bug here that I want to use, but it's right now it's set up to run probably at 20 plus words per minute in terms of the dips. And the way I slow it down is to change the math on the arm, increase it. So Vibraplex sells 3 different size weights for that purpose. And the bug I've got now has one of the larger weights. And there's room on the arm to add another one, but I'm not sure whether to buy the large weights. They have 3 sizes: large, medium, small. I kind of want to slow things down to about something in the neighborhood of 10 words per minute or so. So I'm looking for somebody that has already done this thing, and they can just tell me, okay, just get another weight, get another one of the big ones, or the middle ones, or the small ones, and put it on there. I suppose I could just buy one of each and try it, which is kind of one way to do it, I suppose. But I'm just looking to see if somebody's already been down this road and knows the answer. W6CAG, back to net.
Okay, well, let's see if anybody has any comments on Claude's question. Please call now.
W6ED.
Go ahead, Dale.
So what I would tell you is, based on just the training, so I'm not an expert CW operator or anything close to that, but I can tell you that the CW Ops guys and also the Long Island CW Club both suggest starting to learn or relearn to send at 20 words a minute character speed. You make larger spaces in between the characters, which give you time to recognize them. I guess that's called the Farnsworth method. But you keep the character speed fairly high, 20 or even 25, and there's various reasons for that, but mostly it is so you don't count bits. But if you had a desire to have another weight, it'd be really trivial for me to machine you up a little weight out of brass. Just need to know the ID of the shaft it's going to slide over, and we could drill and tap it for a Sesker or something like that if you needed it. That'd be a 6ED.
Well, thank you, Dale. And this is WA6ED for the SOARA Saturday TechNet. The other thing is a physics problem. How much weight do you need for a particular kind of vibration? So if you have less weight, higher the frequency, more weight, lower the frequency, and then Vibraplex might even have some white papers on that. So that's another approach. But I think I like Dale's approach the best. Over to Claude. Take it, Claude, WA6ED.
Okay, Ed, thank you. And Dale, thank you for that offer. Yeah, I might take you up on that. I can measure the ID of the weight. They're cylindrical, so I can measure the OD and the ID, and then okay, well, that's an idea. And also, I haven't seen. Well, maybe I haven't looked far enough, but yeah, I'm going to go back to the Vibraplex site, see what they've got. They don't think it's updated very often. They have an order form for ordering parts that was last updated when, I don't know, something like 10 years ago. So I started scratching my head and saying, I'm not sure that their prices on there are believable. I'll probably have to call them anyways. But that's it. Thank you, Dale. I may just take you up on that later. Back to net. W6CAG.
Okay, well, thank you, Claude. WA6ED for the SOARA Saturday TechNet. Any other questions, please? Or if you'd like to check in, please call now.
1 minute check-in, Ed. WD16 Mobile, about ready to destinate again. I'm running around, just thought I'd check in for a 1 minute. Back to net control.
Okay, well, Claude just asked a Vibraflex question about adding weight and trying to get it to around 10 words a minute. Do you have any experience with Vibraflex, Mike?
Unfortunately, no, I don't. My CW career was straight key for many years, all the way back to high school, and then I learned about keyers and built a keyer and used side pedals. I've been using side pedals with keyers ever since, and that's all I've done today. So I never did the Vibraflex. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mike. I was just fishing, trying to see if I could help Claude. The only other thing I can think of just off the top of my head is for Claude to talk to Bud or Phil or maybe Tack. So I think all of those people may have used a Vibraflex in the past. Okay, Claude, are there any other comments you want to add before we move on?
No, not really. Yeah, I've been in touch with Bud, and yeah, he's offered to help me set up. He only has, I think, about a collection of 100 plus keys. I think a whole lot of them are Bud's different forms. Anyway, thanks for that, and once again, happy Pi Day, everybody. Back to you at W6CAG.
Okay, well, thank you, Claude. Any other questions before we start a hello round? Please call now.
With Big Iowa, just checking in.
Okie dokie. Could I get a name to go with that call sign, please?
Phil, and that goes with KO6 Iowa.
Thank you, Phil. Well, the call sign came in just fine. I just didn't recognize it. All right, let's do a hello round. Dale, you can hand it over to Claude. Claude, over to David. If David's monitoring, so maybe hand it to Ray. I'm sorry. And then Ray, hand it over to Mike. Mike, if you're still there, hand it over to Phil. If not, Ray, hand it directly to Phil or hand it over to Phil. Okay, take it, Dale. WA6ED.
Oh, thanks, Ed. Breakfast, I'm still using my HT, but good morning, everybody. It looks like cool, and got projects to do today, so I'm looking forward to it. And I'll pass it to Claude, W6CAG from W6CDT.
Okay, thank you, Dale. Good morning, everybody, and like another nice day here in beautiful Southern California. Over to you, Ray. How are you today? Go ahead, W6CAG.
Well, thanks, Claude. This is Ray, 86H, and good morning, everyone. And just a reminder, the meeting is this coming Monday evening, the general meeting. We have an outstanding speaker this month, and that person will be talking about the lowly dipole, and probably you think you know everything there is to know about dipoles, but as did I, but you might be surprised. Anyway, I encourage attendance. Over to, let's see, I'm trying to remember. Okay, Mike, if you're still there. You know, Mike, over to Phil, 86H. Well, I'm sitting here in Kenya, volunteering with the Irvine Ranch Conservancy O2 Parks at Obanak. It's a beautiful day. Hope everybody else has a good day. KO6 Iowa 73.
Okie dokie. Thank you, Phil. Anybody else like to check into the net, please call now. Well, my day is going to be get the lawn mowed, go to Costco in some order. Hopefully it doesn't get too hot today. And then I'm 3D printing more parts already for work. I'm slowing down my print. This is a flat plate. I mean, it's simple. And it was not very smooth. So instead of going from speed, I'm going to structural on the Persa slicer, trying to slow it down a little bit, see if that makes a difference. And if that doesn't help, I'm going to slow it down some more by changing a setting for speed or acceleration or something. But just trying to perfect my polycarbonate skills. So on printing parts, it is strong, but I have broken it, snapped apart the other day, and I was kind of shocked that I was able to snap it so easily. So got to look into that too. Always something to learn on 3D printing. It's kind of like ham radio. I don't think you'll ever touch every facet of the ham radio either. Okay, well, let's go up to the top of the list and hand it over to Dale, W6EDT. Take it away, Dale, WA6ED.
Well, thanks, Ed. Yeah, that does sound like an interesting problem. I almost always print structural, but it's probably because I almost don't care how long it takes. long as it does. Yeah, it's kind of like a massive thing. I put up a new antenna to tell a little story about myself. I put up an antenna for my mesh core node. I bought an antenna at TRW and put it up, and it came with an N connector adapter to SMA. The SMA connector went to a mag mount, and mag mount mounted the antenna. Anyway, so I'm using this, and I'm thinking, man, I'm not getting very good results from this outside antenna. It should be way better than the 3-inch long stubby antenna that I had been using before, attached directly to the unit. Turns out that, so I had removed the N adapter because that wasn't useful to me, and I just was going direct to the SMA, which is what the radio has. Turns out that the antenna had a reverse polarity SMA, so on the end of the cable, it was female. That means it had a socket instead of a pin, so there was no connection. So that's why it didn't work well. Hope it didn't damage the radio. Probably not. Anyway, over to Claude, WCAG. Oh, and I am looking forward to that esteemed speaker on Monday. I understand he's really, really good. Seriously, I think it will be a very interesting talk. W6DT over to Claude.
Oh dear, W6TAG. Oh well, being speaker. Right. All right. Yeah, Ray. I understand that you may have actually met the individual. Interesting about their reverse SMA. That's not fun. I guess that's another weapon in. And don't ever take anything for granted or don't assume just because it makes sense for it to be one way that it made sense to whoever it is. Who do I turn it to? Ray, over to you, W6CH.
Thanks, Todd. This is Ray, 86H. Yeah, certainly not all SMA type connectors are created equal. Pins, no pins, all the internal thread, external thread. And the nomenclature I even find a little confusing. What is one time referred to by one gender ends up being referred to elsewhere as another. Oh, I think at least SMAs are a little more robust than the little smaller, really mini type connectors. And I forget the name of those. You occasionally bump into also. I think Ed had experience with that more. I unfortunately was under the weather and missed the mesh core meeting, so I'm trying to look up a little bit about mesh core, see if it's anything that I can get into reasonable cost, and if I would have any access to any nodes or repeaters or whatever. I know Temple has one, but given how line of sight it is, I can't even hit 40 stuff on Temple very well. The traditional 147.645, I can because it's nice edges over the hill. Because there is the Pacific Island hill between my location, the repeaters. But UHF doesn't like doing that, and I suspect Mexico won't either. I suspect it's even with the lower powers, even more line of sight. Anyway, I'll turn it over to, let's see, I think Phil was the last time. 86 inch.
Phil, I got nothing to add here. Just
Okay, thanks, Bill. Yeah, he said 73 last time, so I guess he really meant it. All right, well, you have a good one, Phil. And that was KO6ION that we were talking to. Anyway, let's see if there's any late check-ins, and if there isn't, let's do a 73 round. If you'd like to check into the SOARA Saturday TechNet, please call now. Okay, well, Ray, darn you, I'm looking at mesh core. I gotta go read about that now. I think David, W6DS, was demoing one of these at a SOARA Saturday a year or two ago, and it is very interesting. So don't read about it, Ray. That's my advice. Save the money. But there's all kinds of tools, and that Lily Go keyboard looks really cool. It almost looks like a little handheld radio, or like a cell phone or something. So pretty interesting stuff. So now everybody will get addicted to mesh core. Over to Dale, let's do a 73 round WA6ED.
Well, thanks, Ed. I'm not sure mesh core was around a year ago. Meshtastic was also using the 900 megahertz LoRa transmission mode, and I think that might have been what was demoed. N6RPR did a mesh core presentation at a meeting a couple months back, so that may also be something to think about. But yeah, and you're right, Claude. I looked at it. I'd never seen a reverse polarity cable. I've seen reverse polarity connectors on radios, but never on the end of an SMA cable. I didn't even think about it. And I kind of looked in there and saw a little something there, and I thought, well, that's in there. But I was wrong. It's 73 all. And we'll talk to you soon. W6DT. Probably talk to you at 40 meters, maybe. W6DT over to Claude. W6DAG.
Okay, yeah. W60AG, well, won't be talking to me on 40 meters. I'm in the black hole of 40 meters here in Wake Forest. Maybe 10 meters. That seems to work for me. All right, everybody, you have a great weekend and week ahead. And that's course. Something else for me I made a note to thank that. Now you said don't do it, and of course I have to go look it up. And didn't really need something else to put on the list, but there it is. Too late. 7-3, everybody. Over to you, Ray. Have a good one. W6 TAG Wake Forest listening out. Up 3.
Thanks, Claude. It's Ray, 86H. And before we go, I just meant to Claude that the reason Ed said don't do it, it looks like it could be a quasi-expensive rabbit hole that you can go down very quickly. And, the experience with digital modes in ham radio is, which is one form of a digital quasi-ham radio mode. They tend to be flash in the pan. They're real hot and heavy for a year or so, and then interest wanes and they fade away. There's always a few hardcore hangers on, but the masses don't seem to adopt any of the various digital, at least VHF, UHF modes for very long, at least. Anyway, but I'm just curious if anybody knows, looking at mesh core units that you can buy off the shelf. I know we have a repeater at Temple, and the question is it a 915, an 868, a 433, or a 920 megahertz repeater? Because apparently as I mentioned 915, they use them all apparently, and you have to select which device you want, and I guess maybe there's some ways to flash some of the devices to work on the frequency of your choice, but I suspect that it's going to be hard to flash a 433 unit to work on 915 or 920. Anyway, if anybody cares to field that question before they say 7-3, that would be great. If not, don't worry. And this is Ray, 86H and 7-3 and listening. Comment?
Go ahead, comment.
It's W6DT. Ray, so yeah, in the United States, the ISM band there's one at 430 and there's one at 915 more or less. And in the mesh core, Meshtastic stuff, I'll use the 915 and all the radios you would buy. Heltec, I guess, T114 is the one I'm using, and that it can be flashed to be either 868 or 915. Or as it turns out, 927.875 is the exact frequency with W60.
Ray, go ahead if you want to.
Oh, no, thanks. That answered my question. I want to be at the 915. And so just looking at devices they have for sale here, one looks like an old Raspberry Pi called a Linigo T-Deck, and comes with an attached keyboard, etc. So they're not horribly expensive, it seems, but I'm not sure these are compatible with what we have. Anyway, I'm just, again, exploring because I skillfully miss Dan's presentation. Anyway, thanks everybody. Thanks Dale. 7-3 all, 86H.
WA6ED for the SOARA Saturday TechNet. Well, I think we did our 73 round. Thank you everybody for participating. And I guess it's my turn to close the net. So everybody have a great Saturday, and hopefully we'll hear you on either 10 meters or 40 meters tomorrow. This is WA6ED. This net is now closed, and we'll return this repeater to normal use. WA6ED clear.